There's preaching. Good job.
Yes.
And I hope I pray for Savannah. I don't know how to pronounce that. Need Savannah Simonon. Cinnamon. Brenda Hill's granddaughter. Hurt her knees, having a test done, and pray for Trina and Jimmy Powell. So like I said, we got a lot of people to pray for. I want to give these here, Brother Harry takes these up there at his church. They put them in a prayer box. They pray over them, they anoint them with oil, and pray over these. I wouldn't want my prayer request any better place than where we put it. If you anoint it with oil and do what the Lord has you to do, faithful prayer.
Give your heart to Him, become a believer in the one who is our lost soul receiver. There's nobody like Him. You've never seen anybody like Jesus. You've never met anybody like Him.
The views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
There's been some letters go out for folks in Campbell County about the plan that they have not being available for them next year. And basically Medicare is pulling that plan out of these three counties for this next year. I don't know what the reasoning behind that is, but it does affect a lot of people. And what I can do is I can help you understand what those plans are and how they might work for you, what their options are. That's all I ever do is come to the table with more than one company. I'm an independent agent, and so I don't have to say take one or the other.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner.
Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to Husqvarna.com for more information.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Linda Kilgore, State Farm.
State Farm agent Linda Kilgore is driven to save you money on your home, auto, and life insurance.
Hi, my name is Linda Kilgore. I'm a State Farm agent in Jacksboro, Tennessee. I have 32 years insurance experience. I have been here in Campbell County for about 21 years. We offer auto, homeowners, life, health, banking, and mutual funds. Come by and let us give you a quote. Doesn't cost you anything. We can answer all your questions and choose the coverage that's right for you.
Or see State Farm agent Ann Gwen Love.
If you need rental insurance, stop by and see me at Linda Kilgore State Farm.
For all your insurance needs, see State Farm agent Linda Kilgore in Jacksboro across from Walmart, 423-566-5000, 566-5000.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Campbell County Issues. Tonight's show is also being brought to you by True Value Homes. True Value Homes in Huntsville at section 6327, where conjunction there where it meets. Folks, like I've told you many a time, you just have to go and see and take your deed. If you've got land out there, and this is one of the best things for if you're wanting to start up a rental place or something like that, to where you can rent houses. And there's a lot of people that does that, and there's good money in it, especially if you get into HUD, where you can actually make sure that it's taken care of, and this and that. You just can't beat it. That's True Value Homes in Huntsville. Also bringing you tonight's show is Ron's Golf Carts and Indoor Flea Market. He's got the North Face jackets. He's got the North Face rain jackets. He's got the UGG boots. But most of all, folks, he has those golf carts. And boy, if you're 300 or 400 feet from your mailbox in the wintertime, and those golf carts go good. They really do. And especially if you want to put the knobby tires on them, they'll go anywhere. So that's just get down and check. And he has some good deals on some used golf carts. Very good deals. Okay, and folks, Black Friday special. Now, you hunters. Now, if you're going into Scott County for any reason, you need to stop by Tennessee Outdoors. It's right there on the 4-lane in Huntsville, right across the road from Roane State Community College, where you turn in there. He's got the Remington Thunderbolt 22 long rifle shells, 500 now, for $29.95. It's only limited one box per person. But he also has the Allen rifle slings that's $29.95 on sale for $15.99. That's a Black Friday special on Tennessee Outdoors, and also the Black Friday special on Value Mark Furniture. It's 10% off any mattress set, or $50 off of any recliner that's priced for more than $499, $50 off. And it says Happy Thanksgiving from Dennis, Judy, and Will. I know you people over here don't know, but they are good people. In fact, I'll just tell you a little story about them. When they came there, this young man, Will, they don't have any children. And Will was working for them. And he told them one time, he said, well, I've got me are going to get me a better job that pays me more. And he'd already done this and got his job. So finally, Judy and Dennis basically just adopted the young man. Says, no, whatever it takes, Will, you're just going to stay with us. So he's been with them ever since he's been, and they've been there for quite a while now. So that's just a great story. And also I want to mention, folks, down at Riggs Drugs, if you got Medicare, those with Medicare and Teen Care or OMB is still eligible in Campbell County for those United Health things. So you need to go down to Riggs and check it out. That's the downtown store, and check out, because this insurance thing is very, very important, you know. And some of these things may only be good for CVS or Walmart, and so check with them and see. You don't want to get holding the bag and not have insurance. So tonight, you know, I'm just one of those moods. I'm here to talk to you about anything you want to talk about tonight, anything you want to talk about. But there is one thing that I want to talk about, and if I can get somebody to participate or talk about it, I want to talk about the Senior Citizens Center again. I'd like to try to get someone. I'd like for Miss Murphy. You know, we've talked about this and we've talked about that. And I'd like to get Miss Murphy to come in and sit down and talk to me, or call me on the phone. Because I want to, I know there's a lot of people worried about a lawsuit or this and that. Now, I do want to say, and I hope, like I said, I hope Miss Murphy is watching. See, some people may think that your rights are being violated if you do this or you do that. And folks, that's not always the case. Your rights end when you're stepping on somebody else's rights. So the best way, and listening to all the talk and the uproar that I've heard over this particular issue, I think it's something that can be taken care of very easy. Get the senior citizens out of the spotlight, and and another thing I want to say about that. You know, I don't know Mr. Colmeyer, or is it Colmeyer? I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, but anyway, I understand that he's had a stroke, and someone in a county meeting last Monday night made fun of the man. Now, I have a problem with that. A real problem with it. You know, folks, I don't even know Mr. Colmeyer. I just know I've heard of him, but you don't make fun of people that's had some kind of a health disability that's happened. Now, basically, whenever someone has a stroke, and I'm talking from experience, I didn't know my mother very well, but my mother died from a stroke 3 years after she had the stroke. My mother had a stroke, and she was like me. She talked all the time. And the doctor said that there was no reason, because she died at 66 years old. There was no reason. Now, this is what my brothers and sisters, my half brothers and sisters was telling me that lived with my mom. I never did live with my mom that I can remember. That the doctors told them that there was no reason for my mother to die other than she could not talk. So she decided, because she couldn't communicate, she'd strike out at everybody. She just wanted to fight. Had a temper. So she just decided, well, if this thing is not going to kill me, I'm just going to kill myself. So she quit eating. She probably weighed 225, and she's about my height. She weighed more than I weigh now, that's for sure. And when she died, she weighed 77 pounds. And the doctor says, there's no reason. And now here's a man down there working, trying to help out the elderly, and has had a stroke, and somebody out there making fun of him. I think there's something wrong with that person that's making the fun. You're on the air.
Get closer to the microphone.
Oh, you're not hearing me?
No.
Okay, I'll tell Honeybee to turn it up here in a minute whenever let me just pull it up. Now, I wonder if they can hear me.
Well, I've got mine on mute, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. I sure do appreciate you giving me a call.
Okay.
Thank you. But I guess I might have been talking a little soft because, it's the holidays and we're all thinking about this and thinking about that and getting ready. But you're on the air.
You was, brother. You was just, you was laid back and a little bit to you and further away from the mic's what it was, because you was low on mine this time too.
Oh, okay. So could you hear me after I moved up?
Yes, sir. You're coming in clear.
Okay, thank you.
You buddy.
But anyway, I'll go back over the story in case some of you couldn't hear or understand. But I understand that somebody made fun of the director down at the senior citizens because of how he's talking, and he'd had a stroke. And my mother, like I say, I never lived with my mother until after I was 3 years old. So anyway, she had a stroke when she was 63 years old. And she was a very talkative person, according to my half brothers and sisters that did grow up with my mother. And when she had the stroke and she couldn't talk, she never was able to regain her voice. She probably weighed 225 or something like that, maybe even 250. She was a big, broad woman, not much taller than me, maybe 5 foot 3 inches, 5 foot 4 inches tall. And so the doctor said that there was no reason for her to die at age 66, but she decided to die because she couldn't talk to people or couldn't get out, and she loved to drive fast and stuff like that, but she was in a nursing home all this time. And when she died, she weighed 77 pounds. And here's a man that's down there working with the senior citizens, had a stroke, out there definitely taking I guess, verbal abuse for someone, or this or that, and someone down there at the meeting Monday night, from what I was told now, whether it's true or not, this is what I was told, made fun of him, the way he was talking. Well, at least he might not be able to communicate as clear as some of you may be out there, but at least he's out there trying. And to make fun of someone in that kind of, it don't sit well with me. But anyway, and I asked Miss Murphy, if you're watching the show tonight, I would love for you to call in. I'd love for people to call in. I got a call last week. It was very informative. She said, okay, there's several of us. probably 50, 60, it was something in that neighborhood that feels like everything it could be going great at our center, except we got one or two people that wants to always upset the apple cart. Well, I believe, and I may be wrong, but I'll get to that in just a second. You're on the air.
I was calling about Mr. Comar. I know him real well, and he's a real good person. But I just want to say, anybody would make fun of somebody like that, they're in a worse shape than he is in.
I'll agree with you.
And so that's just the way I feel about it.
Well, I do. I feel the same way. They've got worse problems than that, and than what he's got.
And so they got worse problems than he has, but he is a good person.
I appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you.
But what I was wanting to do tonight, I was hoping that I can get more people involved in the call and talking about the senior citizens, and find out more about what's going bad and what's going right. Because one of the things that you really don't want to be happening is a lot of chaos in your senior citizens. I call it a club or whatever you want to call it, but that's where people go and that's lonely. They don't, or they may not even be able to go. They got someone to talk to. It's not always about food. Food's a very, very important issue in it, but it's not always that. It's a lot of people want to have somebody to talk to. They're lonely. You're on the air.
They're lonely. You're on the air. RL.
You need to turn your TV down. Put it on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm a woman. It's the first woman coal miner here in the state of Tennessee. Now, I can't talk plain.
Well, you're still having a lot of feedback, ma'am. You hear it? Now, I don't hear it. Go ahead.
And I can't talk plain because I had a stroke.
Uh-huh.
And anybody, God gets revenge. You can't go around and talk to these people and make fun of them because they have a problem. Which I have the problem. I can't talk plain. And I have a problem. And I've had people sniggering and laughing. And you know what? I just laugh and go on because those people are sick.
Uh-huh.
They have a problem. But now anybody that would discourage anybody, instead of lifting them up, they're sick people. And all I can say is they need to pray for them because they are sick. I'm the first woman coal miner here in the state of Tennessee. And I can't talk plain. But I had a stroke too.
Well,
I pity them.
I appreciate your call.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I thought you all done awful good communicating yourself tonight, ma'am. But one of the things that I believe that's as miscommunicated or misunderstood, all of our rights, I'm talking about all of our rights, ends whenever we try to take away someone else's rights. We all have rights. And I'm going to tell you a story, and I've told this story here before, I'm certain. Because I've always believed that, it's your property, and you pay the taxes on it, you can do basically whatever you want with your property as long as you're within the law. And I believe that with all my heart and soul. But where I live, was a gentleman, he has since passed, that had built a store building around on a back road, sort of like some of the taverns that you've seen down in Elk Valley back in the rough and tumble days. And he wanted to open a beer joint. And this has just been probably 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. Because time does pass by so fast. Well, his brother lived on past where that's at, and this road dead ends at his brother's house. And his brother had some kids, and he had some young daughters, beautiful, beautiful young daughters. And he was totally against it because he didn't want his daughters having to walk by a beer joint after going to a ball practice or whatever. The bus lets you off at the road and you got to walk a half a mile around a road and go by a beer joint over in the woods. And this is where I learned my lesson about rights. Well, I'll tell you, Andy Tillman, he was, your judge, and one of the smartest people I've ever been around. Andy is extremely smart and a good man, good neighbor, let's put it that way. And anyway, we had a meeting with all the people that lived on the road, except the gentleman that wanted to build or open a beer joint. And he would have been able to open it because he could have gotten his license because he met all the criteria to open up a beer joint. And even if he'd had to come to court in Campbell County like another person over there did, which I believe if you raise your hand and take that oath that you're supposed to, I don't care what your religious beliefs are, you're supposed to hold up and when you swear to hold up the rights of that community, that's what you did. That's what you're elected for, to hold up the rights, everybody's right, not just your right. You don't have a right to make that right on your own judgment. It don't matter whether what faith you are or whatever, because you swore, and you swore to God on that Bible that you would uphold the laws of that land. And so, with that said, Andy Tillman, which is a very religious, church-going person all the time, I can't say that I'm that. He taught us a lesson. You can't infringe on other people's rights too. So basically, he said, okay, you're going to open this up, you're going to put your neighborhood in danger, you're going to have people we got a lot of kids in this little neighborhood, and people will be drinking and coming out those roads late at night, and you're going to have these kids going by here and this and that. And Andy convinced all of us, hey, you got rights too now. How far you want to take these rights versus his rights? Or do you want to go to court, or do you want whatever? Because it won't be a contest. There will be no contest, because one person can't just infringe on another person's rights. You have a right. And so his brother had a right to protect his family, and the rest of the families had a right to protect their families if there's going to be some way that they're putting their kids in danger. So what happened He convinced me to, well, okay, as long as we go through the right channels, I'm all for it. I don't want no beer jointing around that road, because we all got people that we love and don't want nobody to run over. We just don't think it's good to be in our neighborhood, because it's going to drop the property values and all this. So anyway, to make a long story short, Andy goes and talks to the man and tells him, now you can go do whatever you want. Now I'm representing this neighborhood, and I'm doing it, and I'm not charging not one dime. But I'm going to tell you, you can't win. You cannot win. Impossible to win. So the guy dropped his request for beer license, and everybody got along just fine. So I think that's what may need to happen with Miss Murphy, if that's the issue, because I keep hearing that she's wanting to go to court and saying that her rights are being violated but is she stepping on other people's rights? Absolutely. Because the lady called and said, hey, we're almost all of us are very happy, but this turmoil all the time is causing people to quit coming, quit going. And actually, I believe if the person or the people that's having the problem with and just keep insisting, they're the ones that could be held liable. They absolutely could be held liable. You're on the air.
Mr. Gibson,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you've been keeping up with the thing about Judge Salmons, but, she's been in the papers ever since she's been in there. And I hope you don't say, well, she's doing everything she said she was going to do, because I doubt if anybody would vote for her, if they knew she was going to be this way. Do you read the Christian Journal?
Yeah, and ma'am, I've been keeping up with every bit of it. And I'm going to tell you, she said, right here on my show, that God will be my guide.
I don't think God's her guide.
Well, wait a minute.
Somebody called and said you're straight.
Well, here, just a minute. She said, you said you hope somebody would call and set me straight. I'm saying to you, ma'am, I'm not saying that I agree with what she's doing, not at all. But she plainly said, so she was smart enough to get the Christian vote. She got the Christian vote big time. And she said, God will be my God. So God is directing ISIS. God is directing people supposedly that, and we're beginning to act somewhat like ISIS or some of those extremist Muslims, because we, and God knows I don't have anyone, or I'm not gay, but we have people out there that's acting just like ISIS. They want to tell someone how to live their lives, and you don't do that. It's not me. I can't get you to heaven. You can't get me to heaven. I have to get me there myself. And when people say that they'll do it, so Miss Salmons basically said, right here on my show, I'll talk about that whenever I come back. I'm going to take a break right now, and we'll talk about that for sure when we come back. I'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
And your
I talked with a lot of people this week that had that Medicare plan that was going away, and I ended up talking to them a little bit, and I found out that they've got the QMB. That's a pink cardboard card that pays your co-pays when you go to your doctor. That pink cardboard card will entitle you to get the extra benefits you hear me talk so much about. And I've run across several people this week that got into their wallet, and lo and behold, they pulled out one of those. I said, aha, did you know with the pink QMB card in Campbell County, you can get your dental and your vision catalog and a catalog to help you with your over-the-counter products at no cost. And that dental coverage is comprehensive. It's not just your cleanings and checkups.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner.
Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to husqvarna.com for more information.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
The Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high-output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Okay, folks. Again, let me remind you that a Black Friday special over at Tennessee Outdoors in Huntsville, they got the Remington Long 22 shells, 500 in a box for $29.95. Only limited to one. If you're over in the area, that's a great buy. And then the Allen Rifle Sling, it's normally $30. They got it for $15.99. You can check that. And also, just check out the furniture store while you're over there, because they have 10% off on mattress sets, $50 off on recliners if it's over $4.99. And also, True Value Homes, bringing you tonight's show. True Value Homes, the deal with Keith Clothfelder is, it's one of a kind. How many times, even as a young man, and that I was, just no way I had the money for a down payment on a house. Wished I could got into one. But finally I got into one, and it worked out for me. But you know, I'd got a better one or a bigger one, and I'm telling you, they have some of the nicest and beautiful homes that you ever seen. And the way they make them today, they're just as strong as your house. Just starting from the ground up. So I check him out, and it's 423-686-5800. 663-8633. Also, Ron's Golf Carts and Indoor Flea Market. You know, if you like to shop and just browse around, that's the place to go. Ron's Golf Carts and Indoor Flea Market. It's clean. Everything's priced. Hey, like I say, if you just like to browse around and look at things, that's the place to go. It's behind Long John Silver's in the old Big Lot building. Okay, back to Amanda Salmons. Let me just say this. Amanda, I like Amanda. There is no question. She doesn't run from her beliefs. And I've told this story here before, probably 2 or 3 times. Amanda, I asked her, why did she choose to run for that office? And she said she was coming home from work in Claiborne County, coming down the valley, and it's like God told her that she needed to run for this office. And I asked her, I said, are you telling me that, I don't know exactly how I phrased it, but are you telling me that you're going to judge and run your court because God told you to run? She said yes. She didn't run from it a second. She said, God will be my guide. I said, now are you saying, and I repeated it, are you saying that you will run your court and God will be your guide? Even there was other people called in and said, you know, that's not the way the court system works. She said, that's the way it'll work in my courtroom. Now, I'm one of them that believes in separation of church and state. I know a lot of you out there don't appreciate me saying that or me feeling that way. But, folks, we can take anything too far. Our country has been the greatest country on earth because we believe in God and we've let it stay where it's supposed to be, in the churches or in our homes. And I know that people say, well, what's wrong with our world today? Is because of taking the church out of schools. No. That's just, to me, that's as far wrong as it can be. What we've done, we've taken the church out of our homes. We're not giving our children the best guidance. School is not there to teach your kids unless you're wanting to go to a private school and you're wanting them taught a certain way of believing. If you send your kid to a Catholic school, they're more than likely going to be a Catholic. Their faith is going to be Catholic. If you send them to a Protestant school, it's going to be Protestant. If you send them to a Buddhist school, it's going to be Buddhist. If you send them to a Muslim school, it's going to be Muslim. That's just the way it works. And we are getting to be just about as bad as some of those radical Muslims, because we are trying to tell other people how to live their lives. And we're saying, well, one guy had been just, I mean, absolutely blasting the gays. I mean, blasting the gays. And the subject came up the other day, and we was talking, and I mentioned about, wait a minute, you're trying to tell somebody else how to live their life or how they can be happy. Do you want somebody telling you, you're talking about the Muslims, how wrong they are, and you're saying here that how you, these other people, how wrong they are. It's their life. I can't get them to heaven, or you can't get them to heaven. You're on the air.
Why in the world are you talking about ISIS?
Well, I'm talking about ISIS because we're talking about the rights of people. We're doing the
And
same.
we need to be talking about Amanda Salmon.
Oh, I've been talking
down there on her throne.
I've been talking about.
People like their crap and doing everything wrong. What is wrong
Wait a
with
minute.
you?
Well, there ain't a thing wrong with me. She got elected, and she said those things before she ever got elected. There ain't a thing wrong with me. Not in that. It's got to be something that's personal with you. And what I'm saying is, she said that. She said, I will run my court, and God will be my God. You still there? She said that. Well, that's the same, and basically that's what's going on with our own religious group of people. We got people here in America acting the same way. They want to tell you how you to live your life. And she used the church to get elected. And I like Amanda Salmons. I truly like her. Because she definitely stands up for what she believes in, but I think her belief is wrong. And we're doing the same thing here that ISIS is doing, the same thing. If you don't do what I want you to do, I mean, if an abortion doctor down here performs abortion, we got people out here that's just as radical as those ISIS, and they'll kill you. How many doctors are being killed because of abortions? The laws of our land says they can perform abortions. But we got people out here that's radicals that will kill you because you did that. I don't believe in abortions, but I don't believe it's my right to keep someone else from, if they want to do their abortion, it's their right. The law says in America that it's their right, and the people that wants to shoot or kill someone, they are wrong in the eyes, my eyes. Now, let's just take Amanda Salmons. You're one of those that's just absolutely, there's something out there that you don't want to talk about that's making you so upset. Well, what else can I say about Amanda Salmons? I'm not in your situation. I'm just saying that she absolutely used her beliefs to be elected. There's no doubt in my mind. So if that don't satisfy you, I'm sorry. So anyway, but back to the senior citizens, and then we'll get into whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't bother me. But I know that some people are very, very worried or concerned about a court case. Well, in my eyes, it just needs to stop. It needs to stop right here, right now. Because whenever one person is getting on other people's rights, then they need to stop. They need to stop getting on that person's right, and the other person needs to stop getting on their right. They need to be a happy medium. One person cannot totally upset an apple cart if they don't and think it's legal on their part. They are wrong. And that's all I've got to say about it. It's just they are wrong. Now they should just stop, have a meeting, sit down and talk about it, and come to a consensus. And a consensus, this means simply the majority, once you come to a total agreement on what was the majority rules, then the other people, it's their responsibility to at least, if they don't want to be part of that program, at least go somewhere else. Because 90% of the people, or 95% of the people, don't have to try to totally satisfy one group. They've got to meet in the middle. And that's what it's all about. And anything about Miss Salmons, if anybody's got any other questions about it, as far as I'm concerned, I know I read the article about the judge, but the judges might come back and say something, but they're not Miss Salmon's boss. Now there's some things she might need to learn or might need to change, because it's her responsibility to be able to change. But I guarantee you she has a majority of the people on her side, especially the church-going people. Most of them is on her side. So it's just something that you have to live with for another 6.5 years. Well, no, because she took a year ago last September. So anyway, you got 7 more years of Miss Salmons till she has to come up for election again. And if she keeps doing exactly what she's doing, she'll be elected again. Because I guarantee you she has the majority of the people in this county backing her. Because a lot of people here has gotten away with a lot of stuff for a long time that they're not getting away with anymore. So if anybody got any other issues out there they'd like to, oh yeah, I got one. Got Xander. Little Xander. You all remember the stepdad that pushed little Xander down in scalding water? And we seen the poor little feller's picture here and there and worried about him for so long, and seen some of the things that happened that's despicable, not using the money property that was given to Xander, not to the parents or anyone. But anyway, make a long story short, the mother has kind of plea bargain and I think an 8-year sentence. Now the stepdad, how long? Well, if she's going to get 8 years, how long is he going to get? As far as I'm concerned, it could be capital punishment as far as I'm concerned. And I know that the man's probably his relatives and stuff resent me saying stuff like that, but that's where how I stand on those kind of things. And because I can't even imagine, we, especially growing up here in the country, and we kill our own chickens and stuff. And we kill the chicken before we put it in hot scalding water. I couldn't put a chicken in hot scalding water. So whatever happens, I have no sympathy for that person. None. But anyway, at least Xander is getting some, I guess, some people having to pay for what they did to him, so that's a good thing. So, and Thanksgiving. Is there anybody out there to tell me what president Thanksgiving started under and what year? Anybody? See, I've run my mouth so much tonight against a lot of things that people believe in or don't, but I'll just tell you, I've always been that I feel like it's much better to sit down, and sometimes you have to kind of wade through the water lightly instead of so hard. But there's a couple of things that I have a hard time dealing with. And I think that America become what it is, the greatest country on this earth, because we were able to live with each other instead of trying to live for someone else. And my grandmother says, too many people sticking their nose in too many people's business. You on the air?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there on separation church and state there. Well, I do agree with you. And Miss Sammons there, she, like you said, she ran on that ticketing stuff, and most people knew what she stood for. You know, I believe. And when it comes to children, she seemed like a very nice lady. I would say that no matter what, she's going to stand her grounds. Probably like 3/4 of the people here would to protect little kids, you know. And that's good. When it comes to mistreating children, it's good that we've got a judge that will stand up for that. And I don't, you know, I'm like you, I don't agree with politics in the church and all that stuff. But, you know, everybody knew that she was a Christian, and she let that be known out on the TV.
She didn't back off it for a minute, did she?
No, she did not. And you know, one thing I really liked about her was all the campaigning and the stuff I heard her do on TV out in public. I never heard her say nothing bad about her opponents. Never.
No, she didn't.
I heard others that did, but she just left that alone, said I ain't got no comment, and she took care of her own business, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to defend her, especially when she's looking out for little kids, you know.
Yeah. And there's another issue. I mean, it's come to the public many times. Have you noticed almost every article that's in the paper about Miss Sammons that Mike Hatmaker is involved in that some way?
Yeah. Well, you know,
and I think
I'm not a lawyer, nothing like that, and wouldn't want to get into nothing personal, but on that part. But when kids are involved, I would, I would even be willing to get involved myself if they ask my opinion, you know.
Right.
At all costs, we have to protect kids, you know, look out for them.
Right.
But if there's anybody in the world that's close to God, it's got to be children, you know.
That's,
beyond anybody, you know.
That's exactly right.
I'd be like you. I wouldn't have much mercy if your child got hurt or somebody else's on the punishment. I think you should get what they deserve, you know.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Now, folks, you know, I've had my say tonight. I said they had something that I wanted to get off my chest, and I've got it off my chest. And anything you want to talk about, because it's coming up on a hard break, and I need to tell her where I'm staying or going, because it's you know, in the holidays, and I'm just like anybody else. I like to take some time off too. You're on the air.
President Abraham Lincoln declared Thanksgiving in 1863, and it was to be celebrated on Thursday, November the 26th.
Always on the fourth Thursday of that month.
Right, sir, and it was in